So yesterday we were discussing about the concept of central currency configuration. So central currency configuration, by this time you might have been known that so yesterday we discussed about now all the currency settings are made to the universal general entry table level. Means earlier for each and every component GL there is a separate currency configuration. For controlling we have a separate currency configuration like that. Now in SAP S/4HANA, being it is a centralized, now the currency configuration is centralized to one table now actually. So it is going to be defined at central currency configuration. We call it as a AC DOCA table actually. That is called as universal general entry table. Now when I come into the table, so what is the transaction code for the central currency configuration for the ledger under FinSec_ledger. So let me go into the path. So we come to the SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, global settings. And we come to the ledgers. I'll tell you what are the ledgers today. And come to the ledger. And here we have a setting called as defined setting for ledger and the currency types. So we discussed about the various currency types 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and we have discussed about what is the 30 group currency. 60 is going to be called as index global company currency. We discussed about various currency types over here. And when I come to the settings over here, okay. So these are the currency types. When you come to the currency types, these are going to be called as the currency types. So you can also define your own currency type also if you want to define any additional currency which is required for any reporting purpose. You can also go to the new entry and you can create a new currency type apart from the standard which is available. But most of the times we will not have any chance. We will not have any kind of chance to create any new currency type because already SAP is providing all predefined currency types over here. So we know what is the 00. This is called as a document currency. Somebody can tell me what is a document currency? What is the difference between these two currencies? What is the okay? So here, somebody, I don't want to see these two currencies. 1 second. What is the difference between the 00 and 10? Anybody? What is the difference between 00 and 10? 00 is called as a document currency, and 10 we are going to be calling it as a company code currency. Why? What is the major difference? Why, when we can call it as a document currency, when we can call it as a company code currency?
Document currency is the one currency used for a particular transaction.
For the particular transaction.
Okay. Foreign currency, just like with a foreign currency or something, that transaction is made. Immediately the process
not only the foreign currency. The document currency is the currency. The document which has been posted actually. So it can be a local currency or it can be a foreign currency also.
Oh, okay.
Anything, it can be anything. In which currency you posted the transaction, that particular currency will be called as a document currency.
Okay.
Then local currency is nothing but, okay, so if you're posting a transaction in local currency, for example, my currency is a USD, my company code currency is a USD. I am posting the transaction in USD. So here my document currency and my local currency will be the same. If I'm posting a transactions other than the local currency, for example, if I'm posting a transaction other than USD, means posting in Euro or Great Britain pound, whatever maybe. So in this case, my transactions have been posted in foreign currency. So that foreign currency is going to be called as my document currency. Foreign currency is called as the document currency. But after I see the conversion from the foreign currency to my local currency, then the local currency value is also getting posted. So here I can see both the currencies. One is the document currency. At the same time, I can also see my local currency also after the conversion between the foreign currency to my local currency. So A document currency or a transaction currency is the same actually. Document currency or a transaction currency is the same in which currency the transactions have been posted. Is it clear, all of you? Now, here there are two types of settings are there. One is going to be called as, okay, this is nothing but the description what we are going to be making. This is nothing to do with the this is nothing to do with any kind of settings. This is only the description we are providing over here, short description and the long description. Now, if we come to the settings for the default, okay, for the different level, okay, for the different level, okay, so there are two types are there. One is going to be called as a global, another one is going to be called as the company code. Any currency, if you are defining, can be defined at a global level or a company code specific. What does it mean that? What does it mean that? What does the meaning of company code level and the global level? For example, I'll take a one company code. I'll take a one company code. My company code is a US 10. My company code is a US 10. For this company code, I am assigning a currency called as USD. USD. Very, very important. Now, if you see here, there are two options we are going to be provided. One is going to be called as a global, another one is going to be called as a company code specific. If I'm selecting it as a global, means it is not defined only for company code specific. It can be used for, it can be as a global level currency setting at the client level, means it is a completely at the client level. It is not specific to any of the company code. It is not specific to any of the company code. Yes, 00 is not specific to any company code. It is a global. Now, for example, if I see one company code, okay, so this 10 is also going to be called as a global only. Even though the currency meaning is going to be the company code currency, but it is going to be the globally. Without the 10, without the company code currency 10, there will be no transactions will be posted. There will be no transactions will be posted. But if I see some company, if I see something like, okay, so like 30 is a group currency, but I can make it as a company code level also. Why? Because my group currency want to be different from one other currency to another currency. Something like I want to make some settings. So there are two settings are there. If you want to create a new currency also, you can also set whether I can set it as a company code level or a group level. Now, if it is a company code level, wait 1 minute. If it is a company code level, then what is the problem here? Then if you just scroll down, yes. If you just scroll down to right hand side, here there are two options are there. One is global currency conversion setting. If you set the currency type as a global, if you set any currency set as a global, then you need to do some settings over here. That is what exactly we call it as a global currency settings. If you do the setting at the company code specific, if you do any currency type as a company code specific, then you need to do that because it is a company code specific. To which company code specific you want to define this currency, then here we need to make the setting for the company code level. That is the currency conversion setting for the company codes. So first we'll discuss about the global, then we'll go for the company code specific. Now there are few currencies here. If you see here, there are few currency types which I defined at the global level. Global means it is not specific to company code. It is not specific to company code. It is going to be having, it is going to be used for every company code. It is a centralized. Now I'll double click on global currency conversion setting. Conversion means very, very important. Conversion means it is the currency conversion from one currency to another currency. What is the exchange rate? Okay, so from which currency to which currency you are doing this translation, what is the translation date, everything I need to define over here. This is very, very important, my dear friend. This is very, very important. Now we have a central currency conversion setting here. Now here you can see here. So if I come over here, yes, there are other types are also there. There are other types are also there. Not only 00. Okay, there is a 10 is there. There is a 20 is there. Okay, there is a 70 is also there. Okay, there are other types are also there. But if I see here, okay, you can also go to the new entry. You can also go to the new entry and you can also define over here. Now, for example, I'm taking the 10. 10 is the nothing but my currency type, which I defined at the global level. Global level. These are not the company code specific. Why? Because if I see here, there is no company code anywhere. This is the currency, currency type, currency, source currency, everything is there, but there is no company code. If there is no company code means it is a global level. It is a global level. Now, I'll come one example now. I'll come to one example now. Like, let me take a 10. 10 is going to be called as the company code currency, which I set at the global level, Now, is the 10 is available? Yes, 10 is available. If you see here, the 10 is available. So what is the currency type? 10. Okay, what is the currency type? It is going to be called as a 10. Now I'll go to the, let us assume that there is no 10. Now I need to define. Go to the new entry. So 10 we can call it as a company code currency. Now go back. Okay, which currency? Mahesh, it can be any currency, Mahesh. It can be any, if it is a global means, it can be any kind of, it can be any kind of currency. If I come to the currency types, for example, if I come to the currency types, I set it as a global. So do one thing, Mahesh, just go to the new entry. It is a global, na? So give the currency type 10 and don't give any currency here. Why? Because, yes, why? Because US 10 is there, FR 10 is there, IN 10 is there, and AU 10. There are 4 company codes are there. So here I am assigning, okay, it is a euro, it is going to be INR, it is going to be the AUD. But if I see at each and every company code level, I have assigned one currency which is called as my local currency. For US 10, USD. For FR 10, Euro. IN 10, INR. AU 10, AUD, Australian dollars. For every company code, I have assigned one currency. This currency type, we call it as a 10. 10 is going to be called as a local currency or it is a company code currency. But if I come to this setting, I'm not defining any company code here. The currency type 10 is going to be the universal. It is a global. Every company code, if you take, it is a currency type 10. So I don't define any currency type here. If I give the USD means it is only restricted for one currency. It is only restricted to only one currency. It is not for any other currency. Only for one USD you are going to be using. So I have multiple company codes. So don't give anything. Don't give anything because it can be anything. Further, it can be anything. If you are posting to US 10, it will be the USD. If you are posting to FR 10, it can be the euro, like that. It can be anything. So don't give any currency here. Now, source currency. S stands for source. S stands for source. What is the source currency for the conversion of the local? Very, very important. This is very, 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 very important. What is the source you are going to be giving? I'm posting a transaction, sir. Now I'm posting some rent expenses account to my cash account, cash or bank account, whatever the account you have. Okay, cash account. This is my accounting transaction I'm posting. Now, if the accounting transaction is getting posted in my local currency, for example, I'm posting the transaction to US 10. If I'm posting the transaction to the same $100, for example, if I'm keeping $100 debit and $100 credit, $100 debit and $100 credit. Now, here, if you see here, this is posted to US 10. This is for US 10, not for any other company code. This I'm posting for US 10 only. Yes, my US 10, my local currency is a USD only. So I'm posting the transactions in US dollars. So here, my transaction currency or my document currency is the same as my local currency here. Your transaction currency is a USD and your local currency is also USD. You're not posting any transactions in the foreign currency. Nothing can be posted. Now, I'll take second example. Same company code, I'm taking the second example. Rent expenses, account to cash or bank account. I'm posting now here. If I see this transaction, I'm not posting in USD, but I'm posting in euro, 100 euros. 100 euro. Now, if you observe very carefully the first one and the second one, there is a lot of differences there. Transaction is the same, but the amount in the currency is going to be the different. Here, my transaction currency is euro, but my local currency is USD. If I see the conversion rate, 1 euro is equal to $1.2356. For example, $1.2356. Okay, 1 euro is equal to. Now, 100 euros into 1.236, something like, okay, the value will come as a local currency. So if I see here, my local currency is going to be translated. My foreign currency is getting translated. Means your document currency is getting translated to which currency? The document currency is getting translated to my local currency, which is called as my USD. On which rate? On which rate you are telling? So there will be three types. Will be the translation rates will be at the three types. One is going to be called as M, B, G. M is always called as a bank average. B is called as the bank selling rate. G is going to be called as the bank buying. Now, these are going to be called as three exchange rates. We have three exchange rate types. One is the bank average, one is the bank selling, another one is the bank buying. Bank average is nothing but it is the difference between the selling rate and the buying rate. We are going to be taking the delta difference between the selling rate and the buying rate is going to be called as the bank average. Bank selling is nothing but if you are translating your euros in USD, if your bank is selling the euros, okay, you are doing the translation with the USD, then it is called as a bank selling. Bank buying is nothing but you are converting your rates of euro to the USD, then it is going to be called as a bank buying over here. Now, on which rate? Now, on which transaction type or which exchange rate type you are telling that this is the rate $1.234? Is it a bank average based or bank selling based or it is a bank buying based? So I'm taking it as a bank average, not bank buying and bank selling. It is based on the bank average. Okay. On which date? What is the conversion? Where you have defined this conversion rate? This conversion rate I separately defined in my translation sheet is there. There is a separate translation sheet is there. If I go to new entry, one second, sir. I don't know, system I got hang out. 1 second, sir. I'm writing a book on with SAP S/4HANA on the financial accounting. So it will be get certified by SAP AG. Most probably the book will be released by April 1st week. It's a complete certification book. I am not certification. It is a completely book on the configuration on SAP S/4HANA Finance. Accounting, financial accounting, general ledger. If I come to the environment, current settings. Now here there is the option called as, okay, enter exchange rates actually. So every day the exchange rates are going to be entered or something like the batch job is going to be run where the system will come automatically update all these exchange rates. Now here I will define that average, bank average and everything. So exchange rate M, exchange rate type M. M is nothing but we call it as the bank average, the first one. And here valid date, it is asking the date. So from today 01/01/2020. 01/01/2020. You are doing the conversion from USD to Euro. It is called as indirect quotation. Indirect quotation. Local currency to foreign currency. Next one, same M, same date 01/01/2020. Now it is going to be called a direct quotation, euro to USD now. Euro to USD. So 1 euro is equal to how many USDs? Okay, so something like I'm putting in direct quotation 0.1 something like 2356 something anything. This is called as my direct quotation. Indirect quotation, here we are going to be putting the value as the indirect quotation, something is 056 something whatever. Okay, this is the indirect quotation. Now here you have taken the bank average, and today is the valid from, means the currency conversion rate as a bank average from today onwards, it will be 1.2356. 1 euro is equal to 1.53 something like USD dollars. Now if I'm posting any transaction, so this currency conversion will be completely based on my translation date I'm going to be providing on, from which date the translation. So here if I'm posting any transaction in SAP, for example, there will be one date will be there. So this is what exactly I call it as a translation date. Translation date. If I give 01/01/2020, then what is that? What is the rate as on today? As on 01/01/2020, the rate is going to be 1.23. If I don't give any date, system by default it will take the current date only. If I don't give any date here, the system by default it will take the current date. Now from here it is going to be taking the validation date from the exchange rates. What is the rate of conversion between the euro to USD? Now if I come to the transaction here, now if I come to this setting, so what is your, so okay, if I want to see, if here I given the 10 is nothing but my local currency, 10 is nothing but my local currency, here it is the local currency. So what is the source for the currency conversion? The source is nothing but your document currency. What is the document currency? Document currency can be anything. It is not a euro only. It can be anything. It can be your source currency. It can be a local currency, or it can be euro, it can be INR, it can be AUD, anything you can take here. So what is the source here? The source always will be your document currency 00. Friends, any doubts still here? Friends, any doubts? Sir, are you able to hear me voice? Anybody? Hello?
Yes, Mahesh, it is good.
So complete silence. So I just afraid about, okay, so something disconnection as there is any network connectivity is down or something. Okay. So till here, any doubts? Why I have taken the currency type 10? Because it is a global. If it is not a global, I could not agree. Okay, it's a global currency. Why I have taken the source currency as a 00? Anybody? Why I have taken the source currency as a 00? So is it completely cleared or not cleared? Shall I explain one more time?
Please.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Why? Because the conversion here, what is happening? The conversion is happening from the source currency to the local currency. Because why I have taken the 10 means the 10 is nothing but in the currency types. I taken the currency type 10 as a local. Currency type is going to be called as my local. This is my local currency type. This is my local currency, or we can also call it as a company code currency type. It is also called as a company code currency. So this currency type 10 is a global. It is not a company code specific. It is a global level, because every company code will be having their own defined local currency over here. So I set it as a global level. Now, when I'm doing a posting of a transaction, any transaction you take, it is a local currency wise or it is a foreign currency transaction. If I see here, I've taken the currency type 10, and what will be your source currency due to the translation? What will be your source? That source will be either, if you're posting in a foreign currency, the source currency will be your euro. So this is what exactly I call it as a 00. And this is the rate, and this is what exactly I call it as a 10. This is what exactly I call it as a 10. So here in this also, this is nothing but your 00, and it is also 10. It is also 10. Why? In the first example, if I see here, my source currency is same as my local currency. So your document currency is 00 is equal to 10. So no issue. But in the second transaction, the source currency, whatever the source currency you are going to be taking, it is not a euro, it is not a my local currency, it is a foreign currency, it is called as my euro. So what will be a source currency type? The source currency type is 00 default. And when I want to do the conversion from the source currency to which currency, anytime at any date, definitely I need all the reports in my local currency only. Tomorrow, if I want to see my month-end closings or my balance sheet and my P&L account, I always prefer to see my transactions in my local currency. So I need to see the conversion rate between 100 euros is equal to how many dollars? So 1 euro is equal to 1.23. So 1.234 into $100. So that will be get posted to which currency? That will be get posted to USD. That will be get posted to USD. So if I want to see the conversion from the euro to USD, so I need to take the source currency as my 00, and my document currency is going to my posting currency is going to be the 10. So that is what exactly, if I see very carefully, 10 is my local currency, and the source currency always I taken it as a 00. Then under which exchange rate type? Just now I told it is the M. I'm putting as a M. So here you can see bank buying rate, bank selling rate. There are other types are also there. We can have also bank standard, bank average rate. Everything is there. So I'm taking as a M. I'll be taking it as a M. What is the transaction date? Either you want to take which date. There are 3 dates will be there. If I see here, your transaction date can be the same as your document date. Your transaction date can be as a posting date. How do you want to consider your translation date? How do you consider your translation date? So if I come and see here, there are 3 types of dates will be the document date, posting date, and the translation date. So what is the difference between this document date and the posting date? What is the difference between the document date and the posting date? If I see this transaction, just I'll remove this. If I see this transaction, any transaction above 1 or below 1, any transaction, normally now we are in the month of January. Now we are in the month of January 2020. So my calendar year is a Jan to December. My fiscal year is also Jan to December. Okay, my fiscal year, financial year is Jan to December. Now this is the first period. This is my first period actually. First period means you're posting the transactions in the month of January. January month should be open, because the system should not allow me to post the transactions in the month of February, March, or April, anything. Why? Because I'm making the settings in such a way that only the transactions can be posted for the month of January. So January period is open. So in the month of January, how many days are there? 31 days are there. In the month of January, there are 31 days are there. Okay, if I calculate the days, there are 31 days are there. Now, in these 31 days, now I'm taking the document date. Document date is nothing but we call it as the OCHR date, and there is one more date called as the posting date. Your document date is nothing but your OCHR date. Document date and the posting date can be the same, sir. Document date and the posting date can be the same. So today, what I'm going to do here, Mahesh, do one thing. Actually, there are some, my fiscal year of 2019 still it is open. Why? Because I need to do some adjustments actually. So what I'm going to do, I would like to post this entry in the month of December 2019. So what you do here, Mahesh, do one thing. Keep document date as a 12/2019, and the posting date should be the today's date only. 01/01/2019 means the system you're considering the document date as 31/12/2019, but the posting date you're making as a today's date. So the document date and the posting date can be the same, but the posting date would not be the before the document date. Very, very important. This point is very, very important. Once again, I'm repeating the question here. Once again, repeating. Document date and the posting date can be the same, but the posting date should not be before the document date. Is it clear to all of you now?
Then future dating is not allowed here.
Why? That's what example. Future, why we cannot predict any type of transactions in the future date now. So we cannot predict any kind of transaction. So that's what exactly. Now, when I see the document date and the posting date, okay, now I'm asking my system to give as a default setting over here. Now, if I go to the setting here, so if you are taking the conversion rate between the source currency to your local currency, source currency can be any other currency. So if you are converting your source currency to your local currency, which date you want to consider? Whether you want to consider the posting date or document date or the translation date. Translation date means you are putting it as a manually over here. When I'm posting any transaction, I'll put the date as a manually, any date. So I'll take it as a posting date, or I will take it as a document date, anything, if you're preferable, Why I'm leaving this field empty?
But Mahesh, one question.
Yes, sir.
When you are taking document date, sometimes when you are taking the entry date, based on the value fluctuates a lot between the two currencies, right?
Exactly, sir. You're absolutely right. So in this case,
Yeah,
what I will do here?
What happens? The difference is more.
That is what exactly I call it as a foreign currency posting actually. So month end, I need to do the foreign currency revaluation. This is what exactly I'm explaining the same. So there is a called as, now this is the new enhancement in SAP S/4HANA. Real-time conversion setting, real-time conversion here. So normally, when you do any kind of foreign currency posting, so there will be called as, I'll take one genuine, real-time experience. Okay, so I'll take something which is very, very important. Okay, now the vendor is sending an invoice to me, sir. Vendor invoice means it is the open item. Okay, I purchased the raw material from the vendor. So now the vendor has sent a raw material and is sending an invoice to me. Invoice is nothing but where it is the open item, means outstanding. Vendor account, very, very important. Vendor account credit to your GRIR clearing account. Okay, so this is what exactly the accounting entry in my SAP. I'll tell you what is this debit and credit. So how much amount I need to pay to the vendor? So in foreign currency, actually, it is not in local currency. I'm posting in foreign currency. Whether vendor is sending for 1,000 euros. So this is my invoice amount. I need to make the payment. If I see this is the outstanding amount now for the vendor invoice. If I see the reports, now the vendor is liability for making the payment of 1,000 USD dollars, so 1,000 euros. It's a foreign currency, sir. It's a foreign currency. It is not a local currency. So when I got this invoice, the invoice I received on 19/12/2019. The invoice I received on 19/12/2019 at the rate of $1.56. At the rate of 1.56 USD. This is what exactly I got the invoice. Now I received this invoice. Now the month end closing has come. So today is 31/12/2019. Today. Still, I not made any payment to this vendor. That's still the vendor open item is going to be the outstanding for me. Till I show the 1,000 USD dollars. If I go and see my report, still the open invoice is there. Means I had to clear this payment to the vendor. Today is 31/12/2019. So today the rate of USD to euro, the rate is completely different. Means it is something like 1.45 USD. Today's rate is this much. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important here. Now, you have to do the foreign currency valuation in the month end. Every transaction, if you're posting any foreign currency transactions in the overall the month, every month end, you have to calculate the foreign currency transaction. Now, If I make the payment, I have not done any payment, sir. Till now, I have not done any kind of payment till now. Okay, the amount of $1,000 still it is an outstanding to the vendor. So what I have to do in the month end, I have to do the foreign currency revaluation. Foreign currency revaluation. Now, at what rate you are going to do? I am going to do the revaluation at $1.45. Now, if I make a payment to the vendor, okay, I'll make the payment as on 1.45. So I am going to be on the exchange rate gain. It is not a loss. Why? Because on the date of invoice it is 1.56. If I'm making the payment, it is 1.45. It is the exchange rate gain. If the dollar value is 1.57 or something like that, then it is the exchange rate loss. It is the exchange rate loss. The 0.1% will go into the loss account. If it is less than mint, it will go to the gain account. So what I will do here, on every 31st of every month or 30th or 31st of every month, I need to do the foreign currency revaluation. I need to do the foreign currency revaluation. So there are two things we need to consider. One is going to be called as realized. One is called as realized, and the second one is going to be called as unrealized. What is realized? Realized is nothing but on 31st/12/2019, and just assume that you already done the payment to the vendor. You already done a payment to the vendor. Okay, right. I am putting a transaction here. This is the invoice and this is the payment. Just I'll put a one line so that it will be divided. So you'll be getting. This is the invoice. Invoice I got on 19/12/2019. Now I'm making the payment on which date? I'm making the payment on 22nd. So what is the transaction? Okay, my vendor account, I'm making vendor will be debited up. Vendor account will become the debit, and my bank account, bank or cash account will become the credit. So I'm making the $1,000 payment. I'm making the $1,000. Same thing, sir. Same thing I'm putting here also. Okay, now if you see this, there is something I need to understand from here, sir. What is the understanding here? Because I'm making the payment on 22nd or 21st, whatever may be the date. So this is the payment I'm making on 21st or 22nd. So I'm putting the date here. So 22/12/2019 is the date. On the date of 22/12/2019, the exchange rate is 1.52 USD on the date. USD. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. On the 22/12/2019, the exchange rate is 1.52. So I made the payment as on the date of 12/2/2019 at the rate of 1.52. I got the invoice at 1.56. I'm making the payment at 1.52. Then it is going to be called as exchange rate gain. So it is realized. So I realized. What do you mean by realized? I already cleared that invoice. So this will be a realized, and this will be go and put it in the exchange rate gain. Gain. How much you have gained? I gained about something about 4.4 USD. So this will go and hit to your exchange rate gain account, and already I done the payment, so it will be put it on the realized. If you are not done the payment, it will be put under the unrealized. Very, very important. Till 31st I'm talking. Till 31st I'm talking. Month end, this is the month end I'm going to be talking. On month end, if I do the revaluation, then you already done the payment, then it will go to the unrealized. Sorry, it will go to the realized. If on 31st/12/2019, still the payment is not done. I understand that. Okay, till this payment is not done, till it is open. You understand that? Okay, till this payment is not at all done to the vendor. Still it is open on 31st/12/2019. Then this is called as unrealized. Then this is called as unrealized. realized. Very, very important. This is very, very important here. This is what exactly I call it as unrealized. Means unrealized is nothing but still the payment is outstanding for the clearing of invoice. So as on today, what is the rate? The rate is 1.57 USD. Then this will be unrealized with exchange rate loss. This is unrealized with exchange rate loss. So this foreign currency revaluation every month end, it is compulsory that you have to do the realized and unrealized. Very, 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 very important. So now, if it is the less than, it will go to the gain. If it is the more than, it will go to the loss account. So here there is an option which has been given in SAP now in SAP S/4HANA, which is called as real-time conversion here. So now no need to do any kind of foreign currency revaluation. So the system automatically is going to calculate and it will going to give the value. Now there is no need to post any kind of inception posting. There is no earlier in SAP ECC every month and we are posting some inception posting. Actually now from today onwards, every conversion currency setting is going to be posted as a real-time currency conversion. No need to post any kind of inception posting during the month end closing activity. The system is going to calculate and it will get updated the value for you all of you. Okay, so which is called as real-time currency conversion. So if I go and if I stick on help, very, very important. So this is very, very important. Please, I'll go one point to point here. So from your own currency type, any currency type, if it is a foreign currency or a local currency, you can decide whether the currency conversion is to be made in the real time. This is what exactly I made. So this is my own currency. Here in this case, this is my own currency. So do you want to decide or not? Okay, so here, okay, decide the currency. This means that in every journal entry posting, the value for each currency type is calculated and stored within the journal entry. SAP recommend to use this option in order to have precise currency conversion value in the month end actually. So it's all every time it is going to be posted on the real time. So every time SAP recommend to use this option in order to have precise currency conversion value. If you don't select the checkbox, the same checkbox, what are the checkbox I'm talking? If I don't select the checkbox, what happened then? The value for this currency type will be 0 within the journal entry and you will have to do a currency revaluation. This is very, very important. You have to do that compulsory every month and you have to do this. So the currency valuation. So you have to do a currency valuation at period and closing using a intermediate step to receive the inception posting before you can perform the actual foreign currency valuation for your own currency type. I need to post some inception posting to do the foreign currency valuation. Why should this is earlier? This is in earlier ECC. This is what exactly we are doing earlier in SAP ECC. Now everything is going to be under the real time. No need to do any kind of settings for the foreign currency posting. If you select the checkbox, the system automatically what it is going to do, it will be going to be giving the precise currency conversion value during the month end closing activity. So the inception posting will generate. So normally what is happening, we have to post one intermediate step to receive the inception posting earlier. Now no need to post any kind of inception posting, no need to do any kind of middleware, no need to post any middle account for the inception posting, because the system automatically is going to precise your currency conversion value in the real time from today onwards. So this inception posting will generate a new journal entry containing the value for your own currency type. It will automatically generate a new transaction. So this to avoid everything, now the SAP has given a new transaction code for the foreign currency valuation, FAGL_FCV. So perform this inception posting. Actually, this is earlier I'm going to do this with the inception posting actually. Earlier, what I had to do here, if you want to run the foreign currency valuation, the period and closing for your own currency type, not convert in the real time, then what I had to do, I had to follow these steps. Now nothing to do this for it. Everything will be seen under the real time. No need to post any kind of inception posting. There is a precise currency conversion settings are going to be posted in the SAP from today. Now, this is what exactly the beauty of SAP in my SAP S/4HANA. Clear, sir? Now your doubt is clarified?
Yeah. Thank you.
So any doubts? See how much importance is there for only one line. if you see for only one line, we are explaining in a very such a beautiful way that, okay, so if you see here, only one line, we have taken 1 hour class. So this is the importance, very, very important of SAP now I'm telling. We have to go and see the currency conversion settings of everything over here. Still, we are in the global currency conversion setting only. We have to enter to the currency conversion setting to the company code. Here, if I come to the currency conversion setting, there are 2 types will be there. One is the global, another one is the company code specific. Global and the company code. Today we discussed only the global. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about the company code specific. So shall I improve the speed, or this speed is going to be this way of teaching is going to be enough for you, or shall I put something? Shall I accelerate my speed to the next level?
This is needed. That is my opinion.
No, because I'm going each and every point elaborately. So if it is not required this much of elaboration, okay, so something like if you give one example and go to the next topic means, that is also I'm welcome to ready for that. I'll take the feedback from you, all of you, for every class.
I think this is a bit more in depth, but I'm just talking about myself. I think I got these understandings. It's just more about the technical side that I'm after, but.
So it's clear, Sano? It's clear?
It's clear. Thanks.
Okay. So just enjoy your vacation. So I wish you very happy New Year to all of you. Just chill out for the day, and we'll have a class for tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.